I feel like one of the hardest things to master as you get over a certain age and as your skin gets textured is this glowy, dewy look with using highlighters, because it can really show up a lot of texture when you use a highlighter. But I'm going to show you 10 of my very tried and true highlighters right now so that you can see what I use, what I love, what I have in my stash. So let's get into the highlighters that look really good on mature skin right now. So highlighters are one of those products that I'm enamored with. It's blush, highlighter, and eyeshadow palettes. There's about 5 high-end here, and then there's about 5 drugstore. And I thought that it would be really fun to show you both because there are some really good ones that are in high-end, but drugstore usually knocks it out of the park. So let's start, we'll go high-end drugstore, high-end drugstore. Let's start with 2 that are very similar. Let's start with a high-end, which is this Laura Geller Baked Highlighter Duo. This is one that she came out with not very long ago, but it's different than the original one. She had a French vanilla, I think, and then I don't remember what the other side was. But this one is French poodle and French almond. Now, Laura Geller just knows how to do baked products. They're so good. I mean, honestly, they're really good. And what I love about these 2 baked products is, even though they're a little bit more on the warm side, you can see that that one looks a little bit more warm. What these are is these are a product that will melt into the skin so very quickly, and it gives a light to your skin. These are going to be a little bit harder for you to see, so I'm going to turn my hand a little bit slower than normal. But what I love about it is this isn't a beaming highlighter. This is a very natural, very just soft look to your skin, almost like a finishing powder. They're just so pretty. I like the warmth as we're going into spring. You get a little bit more warmth there on your cheeks. Warmth on your cheeks isn't like putting, you know, orange on your eyes if you like cool tone. It's really nice. It can really give you a lot of life to your face. And so this one really impressed me. It impressed me that it didn't show my texture. I could put it on top of my blush, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. I could put it on top of my blush and it really didn't show anything. It just gave a beautiful glow. I could put it on my forehead and on my nose and my chin, and it just was that soft lighted look, and I love that about it. Now, the Essence Pure Nude highlighter is probably the dupe to that, and it's actually the dupe to so many things that are high end, that are highlighters, because this is one that just gives you this pretty warm glow without having to look at it and go, you got a bunch of highlighter on and I can see your pores and I can see all of, you know, your wrinkled skin. It's not like that. It's almost, it could almost be likened to the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. So this one in itself, again, this is a baked product. It's beautiful. I love the way that this goes across anyone's skin. I have hardly ever, it doesn't matter what age people are, I've hardly ever heard anybody say a negative thing about this. I think it's so pretty. If you want something very subtle, these 2 are the ticket for you. Another one that kind of just knocked my socks off is the Rare Beauty Illuminator. This is the one that has a doe foot applicator, and it comes in a few different colors, and I love the color that I have. I think this one is called Enchant. Yes, that's what it is, and it's usually sold out at Sephora in this color, but there's a ton of other colors, but you can get it on her website. So this one I just love because you can mix this with foundation if you want to. You can use it on its own. It can be built up, it can be sheared out. It gives the glow that people absolutely love, and without having the super high beam look to it. When it sets down, it's going to be just a soft glow, and it's not going to be a super duper high beam unless you want it to. So you can go in with another, you know, swipe of it and build it up. And that's the thing, if you're working with it and you want it on top of your blush, you want it underneath your makeup, you want to use it as even a primer or a glowy primer, put it in with your primer and have a glowy primer. So pretty. And right there, it's looking a lot more beaming than it does when it sets down. But what's beautiful about it is when it does set down, it's not tacky and it isn't going to rub off of your face either. So this is one of my favorites that I really like. I don't have another liquid one that I wanted to put in here as comparison to that one, but I do have this one from Catrice that's more than a highlighter, and this is in Supreme Rose Beam. Catrice absolutely knocked this out of the park. The texture of it is so very soft. It is quite a high beam highlighter, but it doesn't have to be at the same time. Again, like everything else that I'm going to show you, you can really sheer it out. So here is the Rare Beauty one with 2 coats, and then here's 1 coat of the Catrice one. So very pretty, and the texture of it again is very soft and very cream-like with being just a powder product. So let me show you a second coat on that one. So now you can see how beaming that is, just like the Rare Beauty one with 2 coats on it. So we're looking at 2 different textures. That's not a good word. We're looking at 2 different finishes, but with the same result on them as far as being high beam if you want them to, or being able to sheer them out. This is absolutely stunning, and I have been so impressed with it and reached for it over and over again. And I think I've shown it like 25 times on this channel. Now, before we go any further, one of the things that I do want to talk about is that if you love the look of a high beam highlighter, you see a highlighter and they show swatches on Instagram or on YouTube and it's super high beam and you're going, oh my gosh, I can't wear that. I love it and I think it's so pretty, but I can't wear that. Yes, you can, and I'll tell you how. When you are a mature woman, you can take any highlighter and put it underneath your blush and it's not going to show up texture. I never wear highlighter on top of my powders or my blushes unless I'm using something like the Essence or the Laura Geller. But like right now, it looks like that highlighter is on top. It's not. It's underneath that blush. So pretty. So here is one that will knock your socks off. This is a high beam glow. This is from Nabla. This is their skin glazing in Ozone, and this is icy and gorgeous. Now you're going to see that most of mine are either pretty icy, fairly rosy, pink, that kind of thing. Champagne, really light colors. That's because my skin is very light. But if you are not very light, go for the ones that are darker. Nabla has several that are quite a bit darker. They have a gold and they have a peach, and they have some really beautiful tones in these skin glazing ones. So let me show you what this is. This has a pretty darn good divot in it because I think it's one of the prettiest ones that I have come across. And yes, this is high beam, very high beam. So beautiful. I love this. This is one of my very favorites. Nabla, you did a great job. But I'm also here to tell you that I love this one from Milani that is supposed to be one of their baked blushes, but I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on. It is Rosa Romantica. I do not see this sold in stores very much, but I do. This is on their website and I have seen it a few times on Amazon and eBay. Gets a little bit expensive. I'll check out Walmart. I will put the links down below where you can find it. But it's got this marbling of like the lighter colors with peachy. It's got a teeny tiny bit of a kind of a almost a taupey brown in there, but mostly it's just high beam highlighter and it is gorgeous. So it comes across as this peachy, champagne-y mixture, and again, this isn't nearly as high beam as the one from Nabla, but it is that beautiful soft wash of glow that any woman can wear. I think it's so pretty. So all right, over here again, let me just we'll just do 2. Little useless brush just fell out. Okay, we'll do 2 coats here and I'll kind of just bring it up to par with that other one. Isn't that gorgeous? So again, wear this under one of the other Milani blushes, wear it on top. You can wear this one on top. I would not suggest that you wear Nabla on top if you're a woman that has any sort of texture. If you don't and you love it, go for it, because I think highlighters are so beautiful. All right, one of my very, very, very favorites that I got, I don't know, I probably got this 6 months, maybe 8 months, probably more like 8 months ago, are the Fenty Cheeks Out Duos that are her Killawatt highlighters. Now on one side, this side over here is Lightning Dust and this side is Fire Crystal. The Lightning Dust is a very, it's just a glowy, shiny product, whereas the, like, blast the name already, Fire Crystal is just a little bit more on the side of being, I don't even know how to describe that. There are two different textures in here. You know how sometimes you can get a highlighter that's just a glow, and then you get a highlighter that's like, whoa, that's a beaming highlighter. That's what those two are. Now I do have this in another color, which I really like, but I think that the representation of what I'm trying to show is best shown by these two colors in the way that they look on skin. It's just so pretty. I love these. I think that it's a great value in that you can, obviously it's high end, so it's not a great value. I shouldn't say that, but in the way that you can try two without having to buy this packaging this size, and you get to try two of them, and they're so pretty. I have this one right here, which again is the Lightning Dust. That's what's underneath my skin right there, and that's what's giving that pretty glow. I really, really like this. Now, another one that I think that can do no wrong is Flower Beauty in these palettes. Now, there are two different palettes now of this. So if you are more on the dark skin side, they do have a darker one, which I think is so good. So mine, of course, is in the light because I'm, you know, almost see-through pale, but I love that it has these three colors in here. You get the champagne, you get the pink, and then you get the goldish color. And so you can do all three of these. You can definitely, you know, it's big enough pans that you can dip down into each single individual one, but they are also absolutely gorgeous when they're swirled together. So there you are seeing them, just the swatches of them when they're done separately. So when they're all together, they just make a swirl of pretty color. I could swirl all those together so you could see what they look like, but you can do that separate too. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palette. All right, the last high-end one I want to show you is my most expensive high-end one, and it is from Dior. This was the rose gold, and it was the limited edition, and I'm putting my finger right here because this little pan has a tendency to try and pop out on me. This says that it has a few different textures in here. It says that it has a sheer, it has a shimmer, and it has a metallic. I feel like they're all pretty darn close to each other. So, you know, my thing is I swirl them all together and I get a beautiful color from it. But again, you have all four colors that you could use. And I love this. I am really holding back on buying another one of these palettes that are the highlighters, the glow highlighter palettes from Dior, because I think that it's gorgeous, but I don't need another highlighter. So I'm really holding back on it. This swirled together is just beautiful. It feels very soft, and to me this is one of those ones that you could go into the sheer color, like it says that this one's the sheer color. You can go into that one and use it as a highlighter. My fingers are like disco balls, but you can use that one as a highlighter and it would be pretty on your face if you decided to use it over top of anything you're wearing, or use it, you know, just dust finishing if you wanted to. This is one of my very favorites. This was a huge splurge for me, and I really do love it. I'm saying that about all of them. How many times can a woman say she loves highlighter? Well, we've just shown how many times. Many, many times. All right, the last I saved was probably my favorite formula in the whole wide world. No surprise here, it is the SuperShock highlighters from Colourpop. They can do no wrong in my eyes. I love these so much. So I'm going to swatch the colors that I have for you. Flexitarian is a very champagne-y color. This next one is called Stole the Show, and this is kind of a snowy, bright white color with a teeny tiny bit of a gold cast in the back of it. It's kind of hard to tell when they're so close together. So Flexitarian Stole the Show. This formula is a cream to powder formula. It's very bouncy when you start using it. If you have a hard time when you start using it, use a sponge to apply it. Use your fingers to apply it if you have a hard time with a brush. But I'll tell you, stipple brushes do fantastic in these. And then make sure that you really tighten them down because they are that cream to powder formula. All right, the next one is Smoke and Whistles. This is one of my loves. I love Smoke and Whistles. It has a champagne-y color to it, but it's just a little bit more deepened, so I can wear that and really shows off a beautiful glow on my skin as well. I just don't want to keep putting them side by side because I'm afraid you're going to lose the impact of how pretty they are. Look how pretty that is. It's so gorgeous. I love that. It makes me fall in love with these all over again when I swatch them because I just absolutely adore these. They are the best for mature skin. If you want to wear them on top of blush instead of underneath, like I was talking about, these are the ticket because they are that creamy formula that you can do that with. All right, that was the last one. That was number 10. I want to make sure I got them all. I did. I love all of these. So I hope that you did enjoy this. What's your feeling about highlighter as a mature woman or a woman of any age? I don't care what age you are. What is your feeling about highlighter? Do you love it? Do you have a love-hate with it? Do you adore it? Have you been trying to figure out how to wear it but just couldn't figure it out, and so now you might try it under your blush? I'd love to get that discussion going with you in the comment section. Everyone, I hope you are healthy and doing well. Let's meet back here in my next video. I do adore each and every one of you. Thank you for your very kind support and all the comments that we get to interchange with. I do appreciate those too. They help me out in my life so much. I love you. Take care. Let's meet back here and I'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye, my friends.